Dear friends, welcome back to the Bounce Back Voice podcast, where we remind each other that no matter what life throws our way, we can rise again because we were built to bounce back. I'm your host, Alice Githui, the Bounce Back Coach, and today we are diving into something deeply personal and powerful: your innate power. Sometimes we spend so much time chasing what we already have. We look outside for strength, purpose, or validation, forgetting that God already placed something extraordinary inside us. You're not starting from nothing, you're starting from within. Let's start here. Who teaches kids how to suckle? No one. The moment a baby is born, they just know how to find what gives them life. There is no manual, no training, no lesson. That's because God built that instinct right into them. And who teaches seeds to grow? No farmer whispers instructions into the soil saying, "Now push through the dirt, find the light, and bloom." The seed just knows how to do it. It breaks open, stretches toward the sun, and it becomes what it was always meant to be, because that's how it was designed. Fish don't need swimology, a study of swimming, to learn how to swim. They just swim because they were built that way. And birds don't need to go to aviation school to learn how to fly. They just fly because they were created that way. Every living thing carries within it the wisdom to thrive. That's what we call innate power. The ability you're born with, the strength that's already inside you before you even try to prove yourself. Now, listen to what God told Jeremiah. "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nations." That is according to Jeremiah 1:5. Isn't that powerful? Before Jeremiah was born or even spoke his first word, God had already spoken something, purpose over his life. And that same truth applies to you. Before your parents gave birth to you and named you, God already defined you. Let me ask you this. What can you do naturally? What flows out of you without force or frustration? That's your innate power. You don't have to chase it. You only need to recognize it. I have always loved words, though I didn't realize it was a gift back then. Since I was a little girl, I would scribble things on any paper I found. Poems, thoughts, little reflections about life. I never imagined those scribbles were the early signs of an author being formed. I just wrote because it made me feel alive. I have piles of old notebooks full of ideas and unfinished notes, things that could easily become books today. But for a long time, I didn't see myself as a writer. I remember a season in my life when I couldn't recognize what God had placed in me. People would tell me, "Alice, your words give me hope," but I would shrug it off thinking they were just being kind to me. I had gone through so much disappointments, pain, rejection, that I began to believe that my voice didn't matter. But God has a beautiful way of awakening what He designed. One day, after sharing a short reflection online about bouncing back from pain, I received a message from a young woman who said, "I was about to give up, but your words pulled me back to life." That message changed something in me. I realized this isn't just something I do. This is who I am. Writing wasn't a hobby. It was purpose wrapped in ink and paper. By the grace of God, I didn't need to learn how to encourage people. It flowed naturally because that's how I was built. And maybe that's true for you too. You've been doing something naturally, helping, creating, solving, leading, even without naming it. Sometimes the very thing you overlook is the thing heaven recognizes as your assignment. So maybe you're listening to this and wondering, how do I know what my gift really is? Here is what I've learned along the way. Your gift often hides in plain sight. It's something you do easily, yet others find valuable. It's that thing that makes you come alive. The thing you'd still do even if no one paid you for it. If you're trying to recognize your God-given gift, start with these 3 questions. Number 1, what do I do naturally and joyfully? Maybe you find peace in writing like I did. Or you love baking and could have become a chef, pastry artist, or food entrepreneur. Maybe you enjoy stitching, styling, or crafting. That could grow into fashion design, tailoring, or creative arts. Perhaps you love teaching and could thrive as a tutor, coach, mentor. Or maybe you love fixing, organizing, and designing, gifts that fit perfectly in engineering, interior design, or events planning. The things that flow effortlessly from you are clues to your divine design. Number 2, what do people consistently affirm in me? Pay attention to what people keep saying. Maybe others tell you, "You're so understanding," "I always feel safe talking to you," or "You're such a great organizer," or "You bring people together." These affirmations could point towards counseling, leadership, management, hospitality, or even ministry. Sometimes others see our light before we do. Listen to what keeps coming up. That's heaven echoing through people's voices. Question number 3, what kind of problems do I feel called to solve? Your pain often reveals your purpose. Maybe you once battled depression or emotional pain, and now you feel called to become a counselor, life coach, or therapist, helping others heal emotionally. Maybe you survived abuse or rape. That pain wasn't useless. It gave you compassion and courage to help other survivors find their voice and thrive again, perhaps through advocacy, counseling, or writing. Maybe you fought through cancer or chronic illness, and now you want to support patients and families as a health advocate, nurse, or motivational speaker. Maybe you once struggled financially, and now you're driven to teach others financial literacy or entrepreneurship. Whatever you have conquered, you carry the grace to guide others through. Before we move on, don't rush your purpose. Don't punish yourself for not having all the answers. You're growing, and growth takes time. Write it down, pray over it. Then take one small step, brave step in the direction God shows you. You see, purpose doesn't appear fully formed. It unfolds as you walk in faith. And yet, even when we begin to see our design, there is something that often holds us back. Doubt. Maybe you've said, I'm not gifted enough. My talent isn't special. But the truth is, you're not supposed to do what everyone else does. You're supposed to do what only you can do. You're not missing anything essential. You're simply being invited to activate what's already within you. Yet, how often do we silence that power because we compare ourselves to others? We look at someone else's light and forget that our glow has its own brilliance. Maybe you've said things like, I'm not gifted enough, I don't have resources, or who will even listen to me? But doubt isn't a sign you lack purpose. It's a sign that purpose is waking up. So, how do you overcome that doubt and start walking in your design? 1. Remember who called you. Purpose begins with God, not with perfection. When He gives you a gift, He also gives you grace to grow into it. Stop waiting to feel ready. Start with obedience, not confidence. If God planted it in you, He will water it as you move. 2. Start small but stay consistent. You don't need a crowd, you just need courage. Write one post, beg for one customer, help one person, teach one class. The seed of greatness grows in small, faithful steps. As you do it consistently, clarity and confidence will follow. 3, surround yourself with faith-filled voices. Doubt thrives in isolation, but dies in the presence of belief. Stay close to people who remind you of what God said about you, not what fear whispers. Find a community that builds, not breaks. My dear, you're not waiting to become enough. You already are. You're just learning to believe it. So take that first step, even if your voice shakes. Step. Because when you move, heaven moves with you. And once you've taken that first step, don't stop there. You see, discovery is only the beginning. Development is where your gift gains power. My bishop, Apostle Morimi, once taught me that self-discovery is the first step to self-recovery. When he said that, I was in a season of confusion, chasing money, trying so many things, feeling tired and unfulfilled. I didn't realize that all along, I was searching outside for what God had already placed within me. Because until you know who you are and what's inside you, you can't fully walk in what God has called you to do. In 2 Timothy 1:6, Paul tells Timothy, fan into flame the gift of God which is in you. Notice that the gift is already in you. God doesn't ask you to invent it, only to ignite it. Once you recognize your innate power, you must stir it up. That means using it, nurturing it, and allowing it to grow. Don't wait for a perfect platform. Start where you are. If your gift is teaching, teach. If it is encouraging, speak. If it's creating, start building. The more you use what God gave you, the more He multiplies it. Gift grows in motion, not in hesitation. One thing that I have learned in life is that when I operate in my natural lane, my lane of words, encouragement, and truth, grace flows. It's not forced, it's not performative, it's purpose in motion. Maybe that's what you need to rediscover today, your lane. Because when you walk in your lane, peace replaces pressure. Take a moment and ask yourself, what comes naturally to me? What do people thank me for without even trying? Where do I feel most alive and most like myself? That's not random, that's revelation. God showing you who you really are. Today, my friend, I challenge you. Stop searching for what God has already placed in you. Stop dimming your light to fit in where you are born to stand out. Discover it. Own it, use it, because when you operate from your own innate power, you don't just function, you flourish, and the world becomes brighter because you showed up as your true self. Thank you for being part of the Bounce Back Voice podcast. If this episode lit a spark in you, share it with someone who needs a reminder that their light still matters, their voice still matters. Remember, fish don't study swimming to start swimming, they just swim. Birds don't learn flying, they just fly. And you? You are born with a divine assignment that only you can fulfill. So, Take the first step towards that direction. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment because your feedback helps this message reach even more hearts. Use the links in the description to access my books and contact details for online and offline coaching. And if you have a group that needs mindset coaching, my contacts are right there too. I am Alice Githui, the Bounce Back Coach. Until next time, believe in your design, walk in your God-given gift, and keep bouncing back with purpose.